Do you ever wonder what you can do to be a better girlfriend or potential girlfriend to the guy that you're talking to? Do you feel like if you knew exactly what men were looking for in a girlfriend, it would make it that much easier to get treated like a girlfriend? Well, I'm about to share with you some of the most shocking information you've ever heard. Because on today's show, we're going to be discussing how to be a good girlfriend by doing nothing. And you'll realize why the best way to get more is actually to give less. Welcome to the Players Club. If you're paying attention to me and everyone else in the live stream, please say here present so I know you're here present and actively participating in the show. Okay? Welcome to all of you beautiful souls on this Monday afternoon, maybe Monday night for some of you, and Tuesday morning for some of you as well. Good to see you. Okay, we got who we got here. We got Julie, one of our beautiful channel members in the YouTube chat. I see we got Missy America over holding down our YouTube chat as our moderator as well. We got Ashley in the YouTube chat, Ivy, one of our amazing OG channel members in the YouTube chat as well. We got Enlighten, one of the OGs as well. I see we got Jazz, Irina. Who we got over in the TikTok chat? We got Victoria, Radhika, Polina. I see Scotty, one of our OGs as well. Nice to see all of you beautiful people. I'm sure SH is here. I didn't see her name. I didn't catch her name, but I'm sure she's here, and probably Sharice is here as well, our two moderators. Okay, great to see you. And maybe Brianna's here, one of our other moderators. Okay, great to see all of you beautiful people. I see Angie Darner as well. I love spending this time with you. It's the best time of the day. Okay, this is Tommy time. This is your time. It's our time. All right. So today we're going to be discussing how to be a good girlfriend, but there's going to be a twist, like I said. Okay, we're going to get started right away, and we'll discuss as things go on. So number one is going to be letting him lead. Okay, number one is let him lead. Now, I want us all to be understanding of what we're discussing and why we're discussing it this way. Okay, how to be a good girlfriend by doing nothing. I want you all to understand that the most important thing you can do for a man is allow him to do his job. Okay? This is the thing, and it's not your fault. I'm not saying you're a bad person, but a lot of you get this anxiety that, hey, he's not acting exactly how I want him to act, or he's not doing what I think he's supposed to be doing. He's not treating me right. He's disrespecting me. And rather than allowing him to fix himself and adjust himself because of him wanting this relationship with you, you start to feel anxious and you feel like the best thing to do is to start doing his job for him. Okay? Does that make sense? And someone said please remove sorry, that was just the keypad. Sorry about that. And you start thinking that the best thing to do is to do his job for him. And this is why we're here today. Because I want you to understand with everything we're going to be discussing, the reason I say by doing nothing is because I want you to become more aware of the things that you're doing that are not allowing your boyfriend or potential boyfriend to be your boyfriend and to be the man, okay? And to do his job and do his role in the relationship, okay? I'm not saying you're a bad person because you try to do those things or because you try to do his job for him, but I want you to understand it stops you from being able to do your job as a girlfriend when you start doing his job as a boyfriend. Am I making sense to you? Okay, so that's what all our points are going to be, consisting of things that you shouldn't be doing and things that you should be scaling back on. Okay, so number one is to let him lead. Now, when I say let him lead, specifically, I'm talking to you about letting him lead the relationship and letting him lead in terms of, okay, I want to see you. I want to go out on dates with you. I want to spend time with you. Allow him to be the person that comes to the realization that he wants to see you and spend time with you, and allow him. You need to be listening early today, okay? Because I'm going to get mad early today. Allow him to do the job of telling you, because I want to see you and because I want to spend time with you, I'm going to do the job of figuring out, when are you free? When am I free? What is your schedule so that I can coordinate the best possible logical time that we will spend time with each other? Okay? Allow him to do that job. This is why I said everything I said at the very beginning, okay? When I say by doing nothing, see, some of you are making the mistake of thinking to yourself, I'm being a better girlfriend by doing his job of texting him, hey, okay, so I'm free on Tuesday. He didn't even ask you if you're free on Tuesday. You're saying, I'm free on Tuesday afternoon at exactly 4:45 until 7:45. So I think that the best thing for us to do would be to go out on a date at exactly 7 p.m. And since you live 10 minutes from one of these really good restaurants, I know you're allergic to seafood and I don't really like, to eat burgers and stuff like that. So if we went to this taco place, that would be the best place. And see, if you pick me up at exactly 6:50 from my house, and then we can go to the taco place, we can spend exactly 1.5 hours there, and then we'll have a good day, and then that will be our day, right? And you're doing all of that for him, thinking, oh, I'm being a better girlfriend or a better partner by doing the job of scheduling us and scheduling our lives together so that we can spend time with each other when you just started seeing this man. And this is where I want us to gain a better understanding. The best version of you and the best possible girlfriend you can be is to sit back, relax, do nothing, and allow him to do the job of being the man, coordinating the schedules, realizing that he wants to see you and spend time with you, and then taking action upon that realization. You see, the problem is, you allow the men that you're seeing or dating to get used to the idea that you're going to be taking the lead, and to get used to the idea that you're going to be doing the planning, and to get used to the idea that you're going to be the one basically being the man. And so he starts to say to himself, okay, so I don't have to use my critical thinking skills. I don't have to use my ability to look forward ahead and think about the fact that I want to spend time with her and think about the fact that I want to see her more and how I'm going to make that happen. Why? Because she's already going to do all of that thinking for me. And so they slowly but surely begin to turn their brain off. And so you take what was probably already a slightly feminine man that wanted to be chased, and you turn him completely into your woman. So now he's your woman, and you're the one chasing after him. You're the one pursuing him. You're the one trying to figure out everything in the relationship and be the man. You're like the masculine energy now. So the best way to be a better girlfriend and a good girlfriend, however you want to say it, is to allow him to lead. Now, I know this will be very, very painful for some of you, and this will be something that a lot of you can't do right the first time. But I want you to understand it is vitally important if you want to be a better girlfriend. Okay, this is vitally important. You know, said it's already painful. Okay, right? It's painful, but it's gonna help you. Right? You need to allow him to lead, allow him to schedule, allow him to plan the dates, allow him to tell you that he wants to see you. And because he wants to see you, he wants to figure out how and when he's going to see you. Okay? This is going to be very painful for some of you because some of you are going to come to the realization that when you actually let him lead, and when you don't do the job for him of planning and scheduling you guys and making sure you guys see each other, you'll realize that you never see him. So I'm not teaching you how to be a good girlfriend to a guy who doesn't want you. I'm not teaching you how to be a good girlfriend to a guy who only wants to utilize you for what's in between your legs. I'm not teaching you how to be a good girlfriend for a guy who doesn't even consider you a girlfriend. Okay, I'm teaching you how to be a good girlfriend for a man who actually is willing to be intentional about you and the relationship, consistent with you and the relationship, and take initiative. Okay, I apologize if you're into super shy guys who can't come up to you, who can't say words to you, who can't even be nice to you or get to know you of their own initiative, that you feel you have to go up to the men because they're so shy. I'm sorry, I'm not teaching you how to attract and get those men. I never will. So if you're here to learn how to get more shy guys who are so shy they can't approach you, I'm not the guy for you. Me not the guy for you. But if you want to learn how to attract and deal with men who will actually approach you and take initiative, then I'm your guy. Okay? Right? So you have to let him lead. Okay? And he has to build. See, okay, I also need you to understand, like, while this might be a painful process, any guy that you end up with has to develop the skill set to be able to identify, I want this thing. right? Whether it's be this thing, this person, this situation. Because I want this thing, this person, this situation, I must pursue this person, this thing, this situation that will yield me the result I desire. Okay? It's basic math, but it's a learned behavior that men learn only over time. And some men, unfortunately for you, some men never learn this skill set. Okay? You're not looking for those men, which is why it's very important that you let him lead so you can identify for yourself as well. Are you a man who has the critical thinking skills to be able to take initiative and pursue the things that you want? Because if you're not, I'm not going to be doing your job for you. Okay? And the best version of you, the best girlfriend you can be is one that doesn't do the job of his for him. Okay? You're not doing the man's job for the man. Okay? You're not. This is why I say by doing nothing. Okay? You actually need to be scaling back on a lot of the stuff that you've been trying to do, because what you've been trying to do is basically making it easier for him to be your woman instead of being your man. Okay? Someone says, I think we were talking to ourselves in this live. No, this is live. This is very live. I can see all your questions and statements. Okay. Right. Does that make sense? Are you guys following me so far? Right. Suffer says, does he have a live to find these men? I have lots of lives on the different types of things you should be looking for. Right. And we also discuss things like where to find them and where to spend your time. But I always tell you guys, the most important place to spend your time is in a place that you actually enjoy spending your time, not in a place where you're just solely looking for men, because then the activity becomes about men instead of being about you for once. Okay. Right. So number one is to let him lead. Ray says, what if he never initiates? That's what I just discussed. If he never initiates, then that tells you something in itself. That tells you that he doesn't have the wherewithal and the critical thinking skills to say, I want this person. And because I want this person, I'm going to do the things necessary to take initiative and pursue this person. I told you before, I'm not teaching you how to be a good girlfriend to a guy who doesn't even consider you a girlfriend. I'm not teaching you how to be a good girlfriend to a guy who just wants to have pineapples with you and throw you in the trash after. That's not what I'm teaching you to be a good girlfriend for. I'm teaching you how to be a good girlfriend to a man who actually can take initiative and pursue you because he wants to be with you. Okay. So like I said, if you like shy guys that can't even come up to you and speak words to you, I'm not your guy. I'm not really going to be able to teach you a strategy on how to attract shy guys who can't even come up to you in the first place. Because any strategy that consists of dealing with those guys would mean you have to go up to them and be the man. Okay. I'm not going to teach you how to be the man. Maybe someone else can teach you how to do that. Okay. So you let him lead, meaning you don't plan or schedule any of these dates, any of these hangouts. Let him do that job. It's the same reason why I tell you guys that one of the best things you can do if you're flirting with the guy or if you're meeting a guy in person for the first time is not to go up to him because you think he's cute. Because as soon as you go up to him and you say, hey, I thought you were cute, so I just decided to go up to you. I don't care how much you wanted him. You're already setting a bad precedent because you're putting him in a position where, okay, you came up to me, you're interested in me. Cool. Impress me. Show me what you got. And that's not the position that you want to be in as a woman, because then you're going to be stressed out. Then you're going to be anxious. Then you're going to be seeking validation. And what can he do to you when you're in that state? He can utilize you, squeeze the life out of you, and kick you to the curb. Okay. And we don't want that for you anymore. All right. Which is why we're trying to adjust this behavior for you so that you can see something different. Okay, so number one was to let him lead. Now, number two, very important point. Number two is don't baby that man. Are you following me? Do not baby that man. Now, specifically what I'm talking about when I say don't baby that man. See, what's going to happen is when you're in relationships, right? Even when you're in situationships and talking stages, you're going to come to a point where you guys disagree on things. There's going to be points where he might disrespect you or say something that's out of line. He might cross some lines or some boundaries of yours. It's just a natural occurrence in the span of dating someone and learning what's okay and what's not okay. Okay? Even in a small way. What I really want you to be aware of, and this is part of the things where I say do nothing, right? Don't baby him. Don't do his job for him. So when he does something to cross your boundaries, or he does something that makes you upset, or he disrespects you in some way, shape, or form, you do not baby him by getting him to apologize for his mistake, because you think it's the right thing for him to do to apologize for his mistake. And so you ask him for an apology to make yourself feel better that he disrespected you, that he treated you the wrong way, that he did whatever it was that upset you. And you're begging him and pleading that he apologize for how he mistreated you. Do not baby that man. Okay. The reason I say this is babying him is because, once again, like we talked about letting him lead, you're not allowing him to use his critical thinking skills to think to himself, hey, if this person, my partner, is withdrawing from me and I can feel and sense that, I need to think about what are the things that I did to either disrespect her, right, or mistreat her that must be changed or adjusted so that I can stop her from continuing to be withdrawn from me. I know that I want this girl and I want this relationship. I do not like it when she is withdrawn from me. So I must actually think to myself, what are the things she's mentioned were boundaries? Or what are the ways that if I were to think and actually ponder upon, what are the ways where I may have disrespected her or crossed the line? Let me even do the job, if I really can't think of anything, of asking her or trying to get a better understanding on what it is so that I can know what must be adjusted or fixed for the future, that we no longer have this issue or conflict. Are you following me so far? Okay. By the way, I wanted to shout out, where did it go? I wanted to shout out, it was Rare, who donated early on. We starting off hot. Rare donates 23 euros. She says, don't baby that man. 100%. You do not baby those men. Okay. So that's why I say, when he upsets you, right, the best punishment you can give, okay, the best, if you even want to call it revenge, whatever, that to help him realize what he did wrong, is not by screaming, yelling, or begging for an apology. It's by withdrawing. You withdraw your energy. You don't need to scream. You don't need to yell. You don't need to curse, right? You withdraw your energy, and I promise you, it is like magic. It is really like magic. You'll be shocked when you simply withdraw your energy. You'll be dumbfounded how easy it is for guys to come to the realization, yeah, I wronged you. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have said that. I should adjust my behavior, and I apologize for that. Can you forgive me? I'll do this to adjust the behavior. What must I do to adjust the behavior? He'll come to you with open arms, with an already existing understanding of what he did wrong, how he did it wrong, and what must change, or how he must make an adjustment so that's not an issue in the future. It's funny how smart guys can be when you allow them to be smart. But it's also funny how stupid guys can be when you allow them to be stupid. Which is why I tell you, don't baby them. Don't do his job for him. Don't be the person in the relationship. Oh, I don't have my uncle for. But don't be the person in the relationship where every time you have a problem or an issue, you're basically begging him to be sorry and apologetic for the way he disrespected you or mistreated you. Because at the end of the day, whenever you're begging for an apology, whenever you're asking for him to treat you the right way, whenever you're asking for him to no longer disrespect you, all he's going to come to you and say is, I didn't disrespect you. You're telling me I disrespect you. I didn't even do anything wrong. Why are you so upset? He's going to gaslight you, and he's going to tell you that your feelings are invalid, rather than recognizing that for himself, that, hey, this person has withdrawn from me for a reason. I actually realize what that reason is. I don't want this to be the case anymore. So I'm going to come to her with an already existing understanding that I did something wrong, and I'm going to be prepared to apologize for the thing that I did wrong. And I always tell you, the most powerful way to get what you want from a man is not by begging or pleading for him to do the thing. It's simply by allowing him the space to come to the realization that he wants to make an adjustment, and then making an adjustment. Okay? Right? So don't baby him. Says your silence is powerful. 100%, right? 100%. 100%. Kitty says, if they don't change, they ain't him. Move on. Exactly. And this is part of the things that I want you to realize. Like I said before, I'm not teaching you how to be a good girlfriend for a guy who doesn't even think anything of you. And I'm not teaching you how to be a good girlfriend for a guy who just wants to utilize you for whatever he wants to utilize you for. You understand what I'm saying? Thank you, Stacy Ann in the YouTube, in the TikTok chat for the ski goggles. I appreciate that for the gift. Okay. Thank you. Right. So I'll give you even an example of what I mean by don't baby him, right? So let's say for whatever reason, he is always calling you out of your name when you guys are in an argument, and you're really tired of that level of disrespect. He's calling you all types of, you're a this, you're a that, I can't believe the B word, the S word, the C word. And you're like, look, I don't appreciate that. You tell him the first time, I'm not going to be dealing with that. If that's what you're going to be on when you're upset or mad, there's nothing wrong with being upset or mad. But if that's the type of behavior you're going to display when you're upset or mad, you ain't going to hear from me again. That's going to be it for you. And then again, he continues to do it. And then you get upset, right? And you're begging and pleading him, please, can you not talk to me like that? I already told you that I don't want you to talk to me. Why don't you apologize and tell me that you're sorry? Aren't you sorry for the way that you treat me? Aren't you sorry for the way that you disrespect me? You should want to apologize to me, because how can you treat your girl like that? No. You literally say, okay, I've already made it clear to you. I don't appreciate that behavior. You don't even have to say this to him. You just say it in your mind. I've already made it clear to you. I don't appreciate that behavior. We've already discussed it. We've come to an understanding about it. And you continue to do it. You don't get access to me anymore. And the door closes. Right? And then he realizes, maybe a day after the argument, he calls you up on the phone, right? And he says, or he shows up at your house if he's really desperate, and he says, look, I apologize for how what I said yesterday. I was out of line, and that's never going to happen again. I realize now when I'm angry that I can't just, talk based on how I feel in the moment. And the next time that I'm upset, you hear how the resolution's coming. The next time I'm upset, rather than just arguing back and forth, I'm literally going to walk away, even if it means I got to walk out of the room, if it means I got to go for a walk, if it means I got to take a drive. That's what I'm going to do, because I shouldn't be disrespecting you like that. And when he approaches you like that, literally all you have to say is, okay, let's see. Right? And you don't have to do anything more. Right? You don't have to beg. You don't have to plead. And you didn't have to, most importantly, you didn't have to baby him to come to the realization that he needs to make a change. You allowed him to come to his own realization that he wanted to make a change, and he didn't like the circumstances in the relationship because you were withdrawn from him. And because he didn't like the current circumstances in the relationship and wanted to return back to a place where you were invested in him in this relationship, he then made the decision that I must apologize for what I did. I must make it clear that I'm ready to make a change, and I must make it clear what sort of adjustment I'm prepared to make. And all you had to say was, okay. You see how you are doing a lot more for yourself and the relationship when you do a lot less. Okay? Right? I know it sounds weird and it sounds strange, but when you stop doing his job for him and actually allow him the space to do his job, what's supposed to be his job, then he gets to make a decision, am I going to do my job or not? And then you also get to come to the realization, are you going to be capable of doing your job in this relationship or not? Because that's also an important realization for yourself as well. You need to come to the realization, is the guy that you're with, or the guy that you want to be his girlfriend, or the guy that you're trying to build with, is he someone that can actually take care of a situation and take care of his role in a relationship, or is he not one of those guys? And the more time you spend trying to be the girlfriend and the boyfriend, the less time you'll be able to realize, whether or not he's capable of playing his own role, how he's supposed to be playing his role. Okay. And that's been a lot of your issues, right? Is that you've been playing his role for so long that you don't even have a clear understanding of if he's capable of being a boyfriend to you. And part of being a good girlfriend is taking a step back and allowing that space to exist where each person has their own individual roles. You don't try to do his job and he doesn't try to do yours. And then you can also, it'll be made very, 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 very clear to you if he's capable of doing the job or not. Okay, and that's a realization that you want to have. Oh, by the way, thank you so much to Sammy who donated in the TikTok chat. She donated something big. It must have been like, I think it was confetti or something. I seen it out the corner of my eyes. But thank you so much to Sammy. She's like off and running with the donations today. She's a really heavy donator in the TikTok chat. So appreciate that, Sammy. Okay, and one of our TikTok subscribers. Okay, so you let him lead was number one. Do not baby him was number two. Okay. Number three, it's going to sound painful, but I want you to listen up. This is actually probably going to be the most painful one on the list. Okay. So this is the time where you stop pooping, and this is the time where you take your hand out of your pants. Okay. Pay attention. Number three, stop smothering him. I told you this one's going to be painful. Okay. Stop smothering him. Stop it. See, when you smother the man that you're in a relationship with or that you're trying to build with, you are doing him and you a disservice. I actually really want you to be paying attention. This is very serious. When you smother him, you're doing him and you a disservice because you're not allowing him the space to say to himself, I desire you so much that I want to chase you or pursue you, whichever word suits you better, right? I want to chase and pursue you so that I can gain more access to you. Okay. X says, what does smothering mean? Smothering just means that you're in someone's face so much you don't allow them any space away from you and you don't give them a second to breathe. So for example, smothering would be, I told you you're going to hate this. Smothering would be when you're texting him every 2 minutes, not giving him a single break from you. When you're calling him and texting him all day long, and as soon as he takes more than 30 minutes to text you back, you're complaining, what were you doing that you took more than 30 minutes to text me back? I know that you're on break at this time. If you're on break, then you should be able to text me back. You said that you were going to call me. Why didn't you call me? It's been 5 minutes since you said you were going to call me. I'm waiting for you to call me. I'm waiting for you to text me. Why haven't you opened my Snapchat? It's been an hour since I Snapchatted you. I want you to open my Snapchat. What are you doing that you can't text me back all day? Are you telling me you're too busy to text back in a whole hour, in a whole 30 minutes? And then you go over to his house and you're spending 1 night, 2 nights, 3 nights, 4 nights. And as soon as you're spending 4 nights in a row at his house sleeping over. And as soon as you take a step outside of that door frame, the phone's right up to your face and you're Snapchatting him, you're texting him, you're sending him memes. Oh my God. As soon as you step out of the door frame, you're contacting him on 3 different platforms at the same time. And he just never gets a single break from you. Not a single one. Not a moment to think to himself, wow, I did enjoy my time with her. I would love to see her more. Okay? I'm just gonna give you the real. The best version of you and the best girlfriend you can be is someone that does not smother him and gives him some space to actually miss you and desire you. I tell you guys this all the time. Desire cannot exist in a place where you're present. Desire only happens and can only be present where you're not. So if you're constantly available and you're constantly, let's not even call it available, you're constantly smothering him, trying to talk to him and see him 24/7, he never has any space to desire you or think to himself, I would love to see or speak to her more. I know for you, you're thinking, well, how does that make sense? I know I love to see him and talk to him 24/7. I want to be attached to his hip. I want to wear his skin. I want to be inside him, literally, right? But you have to understand that for the man, this is why I say you can't be doing his job for him. It is his job to pursue. It is his job to chase. It is his job to say, I want this person, so I'm going to do what is required of me to get an access to this person, right? But you have to understand the motivation required to pursue someone has to come from somewhere. So what I mean by that is a man can't have internal motivation to say, I want to pursue you if he doesn't have internal desire for you. But he can't have desire for you if you're smothering him. Are you following me so far? When you're smothering him, you take away his ability to continue desiring you, subsequently meaning you take away his ability to continue to pursue you, because that pursuit comes from the internal desire. That's the motivation, right? The desire is motivating him to pursue. Now, if the desire is gone, he can no longer pursue because he has no motivation to do so. So when you're smothering him, you're literally ripping him and stripping him of his motivation to be able to pursue you. Okay, so you actually have to take a step back. For some of you, you need to take several steps back. And in some of your cases, you need to walk a mile backwards so that that man can have some space to breathe and have some space to actually think to himself, wow, I do enjoy spending time with her. Wow, I do enjoy being around her. Wow, I do love talking to her and seeing her. I want to put more effort into seeing her more. I want to be more intentional about our relationship so that I can get more access to you. Are you seeing what I'm saying here? Okay, so this is actually a function of how you become a better girlfriend by doing less. Because when you do less, i.e. pulling back, i.e. not smothering him, you actually allow him to do his job as the man, which is pursue you. But when you are smothering him, you're not giving him the space to pursue you or have the motivation to pursue you. Okay, so like the example I gave, when you're complaining about a guy not texting you back every 30 minutes, or not texting you back every 5 minutes, and you're saying, hey, but at exactly 12:30, 12:32, you're supposed to be on your break by now, and I know it only takes you exactly 3 minutes to open up your lunch, so by the time you open up your lunch, you have Wi-Fi, and I know that your Wi-Fi in your building is really strong, so you should be able to text me back at exactly this time, and I know you only brought a tuna sandwich, so it only takes you one hand to eat your tuna sandwich, and then the other hand you can use to text me, so it doesn't really make sense why it's taking you more than 5 minutes and 35 seconds to text me back, when I know you have your tuna sandwich in one hand and I know you have the phone in the other. That just doesn't make sense to me. You're basically ignoring me, and you're basically the worst boyfriend on earth because you're holding your tuna sandwich and you don't think that in the 30 minutes that you have for your break that you shouldn't be texting me the entire 30. Like, I know in your mind, when you're in that mode, you're thinking that everything you're saying makes sense, but you're being very repulsive. Very repulsive. Very repulsive. And you're pushing guys away, but also you're making it that much harder for those guys to desire you. How could he, when you're in that mode, how could he possibly see those messages and think to himself, gee, this is my dream girl. Gee, this is the girl I want to spend all my time with. Gee, I can't imagine wanting to spend my time with anyone more than this girl who literally can't go 5 minutes without a text from me. No, he's actually thinking to himself, damn, I'll just give her some random excuse, but I'm not fantasizing about being with her. This is not my dream girl. And you know where, as soon as you start doing that, you're very repulsive, but you know where his eyes go as soon as you start doing that? His eyes go to the girl who walks past, gives him some eye contact, and goes off in the distance somewhere because he's thinking, who is that? She's got a dump truck. She's got such beautiful eyes. And you're spamming him with messages. Ding, 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 ding. He's putting it down. He's like, oh my God, who's that girl? Is she new here? I need to see who that is, right? Because that's the girl not paying him any mind, not paying him any attention. That's triggering his desire to pursue, while you're triggering his desire to run away because you're the one smothering him. Okay? I know for some of you, I can see it in the chat, for some of you, hearing this talk is very painful. But the fact that it's painful means that it resonates with you. And if it resonates with you, then this will help you get to where you need to go. And this information has clearly been made for you. Because like I say, everyone's going to talk to you about how to be a better girlfriend, and they're going to discuss to you all the things that you should do and how you should do this and how you should buy him a present and how you should do this, cook his favorite meal and stuff like that. I'm going to be the only one to honestly tell you that the best way to be a good girlfriend is by allowing him to do the job of himself as the man. Okay. And for a lot of you, because I know a lot of your situations, for a lot of you, you're in a position where you're so anxious and you're so nervous that this guy won't like you, that you think that the only way to get him to like you more is by doing the absolute most. And I'm probably the only person that's going to come on here and tell you, stop doing the absolute most. Okay. I'm not saying that for people that you care about, you should never do anything for them. But for a lot of you, you need to come to the realization that you're doing the most for someone who you just don't even know. It's still a stranger. It's someone that you just started dating. It's someone that you're still seeing. And for some of you, you don't even realize, whether it be in a relationship or not, you don't even realize how much you're overstepping and making it hard for someone to want to pursue and desire you, especially for you as the woman, where your job is not to be doing the pursuing and the chasing. It's supposed to be the man's job, but you're not giving him the space to do the pursuing and the chasing when you're doing all this extra stuff. So the people that are telling you how to do this and buy him his favorite present and buy him nice shoes and do all that stuff for you, cool, sounds great in theory, but in reality, doing more is not really necessarily going to yield you a better result in terms of being a better girlfriend. When some of you, all you need to do is actually take a step back so that he can breathe and desire you and pursue you. And the thing about it is, while I will warn you that some of you will come to the realization that the guys you wanted don't actually want you, some of you will actually yield really good results when you take a step back, and it'll be refreshing for your man to feel like, wow, I actually feel like I like you more now. I actually feel like I'm in the right place where I'm supposed to be, where I'm pursuing you because of my desire for you. You have to understand, like, it feels good for guys to pursue you when they want you. I hope you realize that, right? Like, I hope that doesn't go over your head. When guys want you, it feels good for them to pursue you and feel like they're facing challenges and overcoming obstacles in order to continue getting more and more access to you. It's the same reason why men are so addicted to video games. If you guys haven't seen on my page, please go watch my video where I talk about how to get him chasing you like a video game. Because I break down the analogy of exactly why guys love video games and why they're so addicting to men and how you can turn yourself into a video game, right? Because in a video game, you don't start off on level 100. They don't give you everything from the start. You start at level 0 and you have to face a whole bunch of challenges and obstacles in order to build up your reward, your respect, your money in the game, your currency in the game, right? And as you build that up, you become better at the game, right? Through practice and earning it through time and effort. Then you eventually yield the results. And men love the pursuit of working for something and yielding the results for the work that they're putting in. It's how they're hardwired. So you actually do him a disservice when you do a lot of this job for him, right? And you don't allow him to see any challenges or obstacles in the pursuit of you. Are you following me so far? Okay, right? Amar said, that's right. Oh my God, yes. I hope that some of you are coming to some like real realizations here on how you might have been going wrong. And this is good. Okay. This is why we have this show. This is why the Players Club exists, so that you can come to some of these realizations and say, I get it now. I get why this wasn't working for me in the past. And I see the adjustment that needs to be made. Okay. Cherie says, this is the hard truth. I would hope so, because I feel like if it's the hard truth, then for some of you, you can actually see some results when you implement it or make this change, right? I don't want to just give you guys random, information that's probably not going to work for most of you, like buy him a present or cook his favorite meal. Yeah, that's cool to do, for a guy that you're dating, but honestly and truthfully, cooking him a good meal is not what's necessarily going to make you a better girlfriend, and what's not necessarily going to yield you the results that I know you want. Okay, Brianna says, thank you for the great advice. I appreciate you as well. Okay, I appreciate you joining us on the show as well, okay? As one of our moderators, Brianna, okay? Don't you think I forget. So, right? So number 1 was letting him lead. Number 2, don't baby him, right? Number 3, stop smothering him. That was a very painful one for most of you. Number 4, very important, I want you to pace yourself. Okay. Now, I want to get this one in deep, because this is one that's, once again, going to be slightly painful for some of you, right? But here is the thing that I always want you to remember. Okay. Number 4 is pace yourself, for those of you that missed it. Here is the thing that I always want you to remember. When you're in a relationship with a man, I know we just talked about letting him lead, and I know what you always hear, oh, if he wanted to, he would, and all that good stuff. And you're thinking the masculine energy is the leader and all that good stuff. That is very, very true. But I do not want you to forget that the pace that the relationship goes at is actually not in his control. It's actually in your control. Why? Because he is the one pursuing you. So in his pursuit of you, you are the one who gets to determine, while you are pursuing me, things will not go past this point until I'm prepared for it to go past this point and I say yes and agree to it going past this point. So you can push up against the wall because you want to pursue me so badly. That's fine. You can continue doing that as much as you want. However, you're not going to get past a certain point until I'm ready to go to the next point. Okay? I know for some of you that's a little bit confusing. I'll explain some more. Right? Because some of you are in situations where you're not pacing yourself and you're allowing him to make the relationship move at breakneck speed, not realizing that he's doing that as a strategy to be able to get easier access to you more efficiently and more quickly, and be able to have, I was going to say have Squirtle with you, have pineapples with you quickly, because he's able to push things along at breakneck speed. That's where you'll get the love bombers, okay? That's where you'll get the guys basically telling you how they want to make you their wife. That's where you'll get the love at first sight men, the men that are going to convince you that as soon as they laid their eyes on you, it was love at first sight, and they fell in love with you just by seeing your huge dump truck. They're not going to say that, but that's literally what they're saying. And that when they laid their eyes on you, they just knew that you would be the person they'd spend the rest of their life with. Why do they do that? Because they want to move this relationship at breakneck speed so that you, when he starts talking to you about, I want you to have my babies and I want to build a family with you and I want us to be together forever and I want you to move in next week. When he starts talking like that, what that does to your psyche is it tells you that, oh, he's already ready for this. So me saying yes to sleeping with you is like down here. That's not even a big deal. If us sleeping together is not a big deal at all compared to living together, compared to having a baby together, compared to building a family together. And so because things are moving at breakneck speed, you're not actually thinking about, does this timeline of events even make sense? You told me you saw me at a party where I just happened to be wearing my tightest pair of jeans, and you saw me at that party wearing those tight pants, and now all of a sudden you realized how amazing it would be to have me as a mother and as a wife. Now you want me to move in the next 2 weeks. But you're saying that you feel like you knew me, but you didn't know anything about me except for how tight my jeans were. So how is that possible? But you're not thinking about that. And you're not thinking about how that logically doesn't make sense. You're just thinking about how good it feels for someone to be so over the moon obsessed with you and make it seem like and feel like he wants you absolutely so badly that he can't think about anything else but spending the rest of his life with you. It feels good, so you go along with it. But what I want you to remember is, for you, the best version of you and the best way you can be a good girlfriend is to pace yourself and him. Okay, and not allow any of the things he says, any of the words he spews, any of the love bombing he does to get you out of your structure and of your strategy. That yes, I'm going to be evaluating who you are, what you're about, and if you're serious about those things in the process of getting to know you and learning more about you. Until I confirm that you're actually serious about what you mean and you're actually here for the right reasons, you won't be getting anything more from me than I'm ready to give. And you won't be able to manipulate me into giving more than I'm ready to give. Okay? Pacing yourself serves him and you in plenty of ways. Okay? So I'll even give you another example of pacing yourselves that you guys could probably relate to even more. Okay. So let's say you start dating a guy and you've gone on, let's just say 3 dates. So you went on 3 dinner dates, only for about 2 hours each. You had some good chit chat back and forth. You got to know each other a little bit, had some small talk, had some laughs, and you went back home after. Now, on this 4th date you're going on, he starts talking about, hey, why don't you come over to my place? Okay. And you're thinking to yourself, okay, I guess it's kind of late though. Should I come over to your place? He's like, yeah, sure. It won't do no harm. So you go over to his place. Of course, you guys start drinking some wine. Of course, you guys start having some more fun and having some more laughs. But slowly but surely, one glass of wine turns into 2, turns into 3, and all of a sudden you guys have finished a bottle and a half of some Pinot Grigio. Or if you're me, right? When I was a wine drinker, I used to love a good Riesling. Okay, so let's say you finished a bottle and a half of a good Riesling, okay, and in a skillet. And in the process of that, now you're like, I probably shouldn't be driving home now. And he's like, oh, that's perfectly fine. You can just sleep over. This is where things start to go wrong, okay? Because these are the things you should have been looking forward to when you were thinking about the decision that you were making. And you have to remember, okay, I'm going to say something and it's going to sound horrible on the men's part, but I want you to understand men aren't villains, but I do need you to understand that this as the truth. Whether or not a man likes you and wants to build with you, he will still try to sleep with you as early as possible. So when I just gave you the example of the sleepover, despite the fact that he might have been enjoying his last 3 dinner dates with you, and this is the 4th one now, and you're sleeping over in this bed now, just because he likes you and he's been on the path of being ready to build with you, that does not mean when you guys get in that bed that he's not going to try and sleep with you. And this is what I want you to understand, okay? Regardless of how much that guy likes you, he's going to try to see how far he can get with you. It's just natural to men. I don't know how else to say it in a way that sounds nicer. It then becomes your job to pace him and say, I know that you like me. I know that you want to sleep with me. I know that you're itching to get inside my squirtle and you're rock solid right now. I can feel it in this bed. Okay? I need you to be the one to pace yourself and him and say, despite how much you want this, you're going to get nothing from me and you're going to be okay with it. He might complain and say, oh, but you know how much I want to be with you, and you know how much we're connecting, and you know how deep our connection is, and you know it's like we met in a past life, and it's like we've known each other forever, and you know we're going to get married. You say, that's cool. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I get that. I totally get it. It's like we met in a past life. It's like a spiritual connection. That's so great. You're not going to sleep with me, and you'll be perfectly fine. You're a big boy. Okay? He's going to complain. He might yell and scream a little bit. He might throw a tantrum. But I promise you, if that man is serious about you, he'll wake up the next day and he'll actually appreciate you for doing that. It sounds weird. I know it sounds horrible. Now, I'll warn you, some men will wake up the next day and they'll realize they can't take advantage of you, so they'll discard of you. But I promise you, there will be some men also that wake up the next day and they actually appreciate the fact that you paced him and you. And you didn't allow the fact that he threw a temper tantrum and he tried to throw the kitchen sink at you to convince you that you should sleep with him. He'll actually appreciate that it didn't work on you. Why? Because men are used to being able to push the pace on the women to get what they want quickly and efficiently. So when it doesn't work on you, despite you saying, hey, I like spending time with you, I like being here with you, but I'm not going to push the pace, he says, oh, you're actually smarter than I thought. Oh, you're actually someone that respects yourself. And we're going to talk about respect in a little bit. And the reason I know that is not just from my own experience, but I'm letting you in on such a crazy secret right now. It's insane. Okay, so I want you to listen up because this is not someone anyone's going to admit to you. I've actually had friends of my own, like, when we're having guy talk. I'm so serious. I'm so dead serious. I actually want you to pay attention to this because this is actually real. Guys of my own, when we're having guy talk, in the process of telling me about their experience with another girl, they will literally tell me, yeah, on this first or second date, I literally tried to sleep with her and she said no. And I actually respect her. Like, I respect that. Like, I actually tried. I tried every move that I could. I tried to do whatever, and she was like, nah. And I just had to go to bed. And I respect that. I've had guys tell me that. Tell me that. Okay? This is actually like, and then not just one or two. There's a lot of my guy friends that they talk this way. Hey, you know, I was building this thing with this girl in the process of feeling her out. I tried it. She wasn't going. But I respect her because she wasn't going. Why? Because they're used to being able to apply pressure and then they get what they want. Okay? I know it sounds villainous. I know it sounds horrible, but I'm not here to tell you what sounds good. Okay? I'm here to tell you the actual truth that goes on. Ivy says, can I poop now? You can poop now. Okay? You guys can do what you were doing before. Okay? Go back to laying down. Right? But this is very important. And I want you guys to really, really understand this. Pacing yourself and him is vitally important. Okay? Electric Field says, seeing you talk on gift giving, please. He hasn't gotten me a gift, but it's his B-day. His B-day is coming up. Seeing each other 3 months. He treats me great. Takes me out on $200 dates. What are good gifts that don't overgive? I think in your case, for his B-day, I think better than spending a lot of money, Electric Field, I think the best type of gift to give, rather than spending a whole bunch of money, is to do something that's meaningful for him. So let's just say, for the sake of example, if he really loves horses and horseback riding, surprise him by going to a place where you guys can horseback ride. You know, that's more meaningful and memorable by buying him a gift that has a lot of money. I would actually advise against you spending a lot of money and doing an activity that actually means something to him. What's the word? Sentimentally. Okay, that's way more impactful. Okay, someone said a Rolex. I would not advise you to get him a Rolex. Okay, unless that's your man. Okay, like you're actually dating that guy. That's a different thing. Okay, I'm actually trying to get a Rolex myself. So pacing yourself. Okay, number one was letting him lead. Number two, don't be a baby. Don't baby him. I said don't be a baby. Don't baby him. Number three, stop smothering. And number four, pace yourself. Number five. Number five, like I just talked about before, number five, you need to respect yourself. Respect yourself. Did you hear what I said or no? The reason you need to be respecting this is actually part of how you become a good girlfriend and a better girlfriend. You need to respect yourself, because if you do, I'm going to get mad now. I already know. If you do not respect yourself, he will not respect you. And you make it so hard, whether he wants to respect you or not, you make it so hard for him to even respect you, even if he wants to, when he sees that you don't have respect for yourself. So I'll give you an example. I know I just gave the example of sleeping with each other, but let me give you a different example unrelated to that. Let's say you're in a talking stage with a guy, and in the process of this talking stage, you tell him all about how your ex mistreated you, how he cheated 30 times, how he went behind your back, he was messaging girls, he was meeting up with girls, he was going on dates, and he damn near had a whole nother girlfriend. And he goes, damn, that's crazy, first of all, that he did that to you, but it's also even crazier that you stayed for that long while he did that to you. And then even after that, and even after you talk about how bad that is, he still sees that you are in contact with him, whether it be over text, whether he calls you sometimes, whether he has any sort of access to you. And you might say, oh, well, I barely even respond to any of his texts, but you still respond to a few. Or I barely even answer any of his calls, but you do respond, or you do answer them every now and again. And you're thinking to yourself, oh, well, I'm not doing anything. I'm not the one calling him. I'm not the one texting him. I'm not the one reaching out. He contacts me all the time, and I barely, not that you never, but I barely ever respond. You have to understand that the reality of it is, guys don't perceive it as, oh, you barely respond, so it means that you respect yourself. Because if you just finished telling me all the different ways that that man hurt you, all the different ways that that man disrespected you and mistreated you, then that man should never have any sort of access to you whatsoever. He shouldn't be able to call you. He shouldn't be able to text you. He shouldn't be able to contact anyone in your friends or family. And even if he tries to, he doesn't get a response from you. So the idea that he would ever have any sort of access to you, that this could be ongoing, despite all the things that you just mentioned and the ways that he mistreated and disrespected you, you're literally showing him that you don't have respect for yourself. So that tells him he shouldn't have respect for you either. And this is part of the things where I say being a good or a better girlfriend is actually a function of also making it easier for him to do his job. Because the man that you're dating and the man that's trying to build a relationship with you wants to respect you. But if he sees and gets the sense that you don't even have respect for yourself, you actually make it impossible for that man to respect you. And I know it sounds like I'm making it all your fault and all about you, but I do want you to understand that the way that you respond and approach things also speaks to, it also translates to the perspective that other people have of you, right? Okay. And so being a better girlfriend is also really about putting yourself in a position where a guy can actually treat you like a girlfriend. And if he's going to treat you like a girlfriend, one of the things he has to have for you is respect, which is why pacing yourself and respecting yourself kind of go hand in hand. Because when you pace yourself, you also gain respect, right? And you show him that you respect yourself. Subsequently, also, when in the way that you deal with people and in the way that you cut people off who aren't showing up for you in the way that you need them to show up for you, it also shows that you have respect for yourself. Why? Because you know your value, you know what you bring to the table, you know what you're not going to be tolerating from other people, whether it be friends or exes. And because you know what you're not going to be tolerating from people, the moment they show you that they're not in line with what is expected from them in the friendship or in the relationship, they no longer have access to you. Why? Because you have respect for yourself. Does that make sense? And subsequently, because you have respect for yourself, I now have respect for you. Because vice versa, if you don't have no damn respect for yourself, then I don't have no damn respect for you either. It works hand in hand. Right? Missy America says also applies to life. 100%. This applies to your life. This applies to your relationships. This applies to everything, right? Even family members and friendships, right? And you want to make sure that that guy is able to see that you respect yourself in all these different ways and circumstances so that he can understand, yes, I have to respect you as well. Does that make sense? You're not going to, and maybe we'll have a live all about this, because a lot of times you guys not forget, maybe you don't realize that interest is actually driven partially and a lot by respect. And if you have respect, then you also have interest from men. If you don't have respect, then you don't have a lot of interest. And when I say interest, I'm talking about the right type of interest. That might be a whole nother show we have to discuss too, right? Because some of you get confused the different types of interest that guys will show you. When I know that majority of you want a particular type of interest that's in line with him building a long-lasting relationship with you, not the type of interest where he's horned up and he wants to whack himself off and then he hits you up to get on the phone with you so he can see you open your legs for him on video chat. Okay, I'm not talking about that type of interest. Okay, so let him lead was number one. Don't baby him was number two. Stop smothering him is number three. Number four was to pace yourself. Number five was to respect yourself. And number six, and probably one of the most important, is to invest in yourself. I know that the title of this show was How to Be a Good Girlfriend. I know that. And I know that you were expecting me to give you a whole bunch of things on how to be a good girlfriend by doing more things. But I told you this is all by doing nothing. I need you to understand the most attractive you will ever be. And I tell you guys this all the time. The most attractive you will ever be is when you're hyper focused and fixated on yourself and your own needs and investing into yourself and building yourself up, building up your confidence, building up your self-worth, your self-image, your self-esteem, all of that. Self. Why? Because guys do not chase after and pursue the women who are desperate for them. Guys chase after and pursue the women who are whole and don't need them for anything. Okay? The girls who already have their train moving in a particular direction, the guys come along and say, you're attractive, you're beautiful, you're stunning, you're smart, you're intelligent. I want to see what's up with you. I want to pursue you. I want to try and get on your level. I want to live up to whatever standard that you have, that I can be what you need. And then you get to say, cool, if you want to be the man that I choose, then first of all, you're going to have to wait in a line of another 1,000 men, and you're going to have to do the most backflips and the most front flips. You're going to have to set yourself on fire, and you're going to have to impress me here, because there's 1,000 other men who are literally lined up trying to do the same thing as you and trying to be in the same position as you. So if you're not prepared to light yourself on fire, do backflips and front flips and beg for me to pick you, I'm sorry, there's going to be someone who will gladly take your place. Okay. Now, I'm not speaking in a literal sense that that's what you should say to him, but I just want you to understand that's how they psychologically approach you when you're someone who invests in yourself, because they understand other people also want you. I talked to you guys before about the male gaze is not just about him looking at you and your features and your qualities and your dump truck and your giddies, but it's also about him recognizing how attractive the other men find you. And that also builds you up in his mind. Right. And as you invest in yourself, right, you basically confirm the idea that you're valuable, that you're sought after, that people want you. And because so many people want you, you don't have time to pay attention to me. And even the fact that I am showing you attention, even the fact that I am validating you, even the fact that I am begging to spend more time with you and be around you, you're not fazed by that because you don't need me. Okay, I know it sounds weird and strange, but honestly, the guys desire you the most when they feel like you don't need them. And they treat you the worst when they feel like they're the be all and end all of your entire life. Okay, does that make sense? That girl Evie says, how do you say this gently? What do you mean? Say what gently? That you don't see, this is the thing. You don't say this to people that you're investing in yourself. You just do it. And people see it and they receive it from you. So when you're investing in yourself, you actually won't have time to be on your phone hoping that he texts you back every 5 minutes. It's not even, and this is the thing where everyone gets confused, because they come on on the show and then they hear me talk about not texting back, and not being worried about the phone and all this stuff like that. But that's games. That's game. You're playing mind games. You're telling me I shouldn't text him back. That's mind games. No, what I'm actually saying, if people would actually listen, what I'm actually saying is that you should have so many things going on in your life that your life isn't just about getting a text back in 5 minutes. So it's not that you're playing a game that I'm purposely not going to text you back because I want to make you desire me more. It's that I actually have things in my life that I focus on and I love and I do for myself that takes my attention away from just sitting on the phone hoping and praying that you'll text me back. And it's genuine to you because you're not doing it for the sake of him liking you or wanting you more. You're doing it because you genuinely have more things to do in your life. And you're okay with doing other things in your life. Not that you don't want the guy or want to spend time with the guy, but like you just have other things going on. I know for some of you, it kind of feels like a crime to go out and do other things for yourself just because you want to do them. And you feel like everything that you must do has to be attached to the boys or to be around boys or something like that. But I'll be the first one to tell you it's not a crime. Okay. And I'll also be the first one to tell you the moment that you start investing in yourself and you start building yourself up, you'll build up your confidence and you'll be way more attractive to the guys. You won't have to seek out any guys. I can assure you that. When you start investing in yourself, you won't have to seek out any guys. You won't have to beg any guys to see you. You won't have to beg any guys to notice you. I promise you, they will notice you. They will come up to you in herds, in droves, and you'll be like, damn, can some of y'all get off me? You're on my body too much. Please back up. Please back up. Give me some space here. And that's the position that you should be in. Okay, because I see some of you ask me, oh, well, do you think I can get a guy if, I'm a bigger girl and, you think guys will like, first of all, guys like all shapes and sizes, But being a bigger girl or being whatever it is that you feel like prevents you from getting men is not really about the thing. It's about how it affects your confidence, and it puts you in a position where you feel like you're more desperate and you need to like hold on anxiously to any guy that will show any sort of interest in you. Because by the time they meet you, they're immediately repulsed by you because you're like, oh my God, you actually like me? Oh my God, you actually find me interesting? Oh my God, please stay, please don't leave. Please spend every second of your life with me, and please never walk away from me. Please don't abandon me. I'm gonna fall apart like silly putty if you walk away, if you're not interested in me. Please, you showed me just a tiny bit of interest. Please, can you spend the rest of... And people just go, whoa, please back up. Please give me some space. Okay? And that's why I say, right, it doesn't really matter how voluptuous your titties are. It doesn't really matter how big your dump truck is. None of that really matters. But as you invest in yourself, i.e. going to the gym, taking care of your skin, taking care of your hairs, doing your nails, do whatever it is that makes you happy and allows you to look in the mirror and say, yeah, I'm her. Okay? That's what you should be focused on. Whatever helps you look in the mirror and truthfully feel like, yeah, I'm her. When you get to that point, that's where you know you're on the right track. Or when you start feeling that more, that's how you know you're on the right track. Because as that confidence increases inside you, then when you walk around in the world, people are receiving that from you. And when you get into relationships or talking stages, you don't present yourself as being like, oh my God, I need to hoard you, because if you don't like me, then my life is going to fall apart. You're like, no, I actually know that I'm the girl that everyone wants. So if you don't like me, there will be tons of other people that like me. I'm not concerned about you liking me. I'm actually more concerned, do I like you? And when you change your approach to your relationships to become about, do I like you versus do you like me? You'll do a complete 180 flip on the way that you respond to things and the way that you approach that relationship. Because that's where a majority of you are now. You're approaching your relationships from the standpoint of, do you like me? So the moment you feel like this guy might not like you as much, you start thinking, what can I do more to get you to like me? And like Shira says all the time, you become a pick-me-sha. Or maybe it's not Shira that came up with that. Maybe it was someone else, but she says it all the time. I hear her. Okay? And you become like a pick-me-sha because you're thinking, how can I do more to get you to like me more? When in reality, the best way to get someone to like you more, especially a guy, I'm just going to be honest with you, is by doing less. Actually doing nothing in your case. Okay? So those were the reasons why doing nothing, those were the reasons how to be a good girlfriend, by doing nothing. You guys have any questions about what we just discussed here? Okay? Right? Someone says, can you speak on girls in relationships and doing less to get them to do more? You don't have to, well, it doesn't require you to do anything except do less. Now, I'll warn you, when you start doing less, it's going to become uncomfortable for your partner, because if he's accustomed to you doing his job for him, he's going to start saying, well, this is kind of awkward and weird. I was expecting you to be the man and schedule all our dates and do my job for me. So now that you're not doing that, there's a huge gap. And then it's going to come decision time. He's going to start having to make a decision. Am I going to take over this space that's been left, right? Because you're not doing as much anymore and you're not doing the job of pushing this relationship forward. Am I going to take over that and start doing the job that I should have been doing? Or am I going to say, this is not the relationship I want anymore, because I wanted to be the one being pursued and being chased and you doing all the work for our relationship? Okay. It's going to be a decision there. And so that's why I say, if you're planning on doing this in your current relationship, I just want you to understand there's two possibilities. Either he becomes uncomfortable and then he starts making the adjustment and doing the man's job and pursuing you properly and things fit into place how they're supposed to, or he comes to the realization that this is uncomfortable, but he does not want to continue pursuing you in this relationship. And so he takes a step back. Okay. Right. Someone says, how do you deal with the stalker that is stalking you when you have done nothing wrong? Ask that is a situation that requires way more detail. So I would advise you escape to ask your question in the Discord. For those of you who are new here, the Discord is available. Go to the link in my bio and ask your question in the Discord. If you're on TikTok or if you're on YouTube, go to the pinned comment or the link in the description at the very bottom and ask your question in the Discord where I can answer it. Obviously, the simple answer is just call the police, but that's why I say your situation might have more nuance than that. So ask it in the Discord so I can at least give you a little bit more of a nuanced answer. You understand what I'm saying? Because clearly the most obvious answer you've probably tried. I would assume so. I would hope so. But it might require a little bit more nuance than that. Okay. Does that make sense? Olivia says, yep, mine steps back when I do less. That's kind of the issue. And I never want to lie to you guys about when we discuss these strategies or how to go about things differently. I never want to lie to you guys and make you feel like when you switch up your strategy or you switch up your approach in a relationship that's already been established and the foundation of how things are going to be set and the dynamic has already been established. I want you guys to really be aware that for some of you, you're going to realize when you start doing less, your man says, whoa, 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 I'm the princess here. You pursue me, you chase after me. If you're going to start doing less, I have no time, energy, or I'm not here to be the one pursuing you. So if I'm not getting princess treatment from you, then this isn't a relationship anymore. And I know it sounds horrible, but some of you are going to come to that realization. I'm telling you, it sucks, but it's the truth. And if you come to that realization, then you have to make a decision. Olivia says, so leave him? Well, you make the decision for yourself. Do you want to continue giving your man princess treatment and being the one pursuing him and chasing after him? For some of you, the answer is you don't mind, you don't care, it doesn't matter to you. You'll do it if you have to because you want that guy. Fine. If that's the case, then continue being with him. If that's not the case, then I would probably advise you to reevaluate and think to yourself, this probably isn't the relationship for me if I'm going to have to be the one chasing and pursuing after my man, giving him princess treatment for the rest of my life. Okay. And it's a painful realization, but at the end of the day, if that's not what you want in terms of a relationship dynamic, you can't stay hoping that one day that relationship dynamic will turn into that. At the beginning of your relationships, guys, and this is why this advice will best, obviously it can serve all of you, but the people that aren't in relationships or are just currently building them from fresh and new, this will be even better advice for you guys because relationships are like cement. At the beginning, they're moldable. You can adjust them. You can move them around and structure them how you want them to be. But once they become hardened over time, it becomes very difficult to start trying to change and adjust things once they start becoming set in stone. So for some of you, when you start trying to change and adjust things, you'll realize that it's just not going to work. You know what I mean? And I'm not here to try to make all of you end your relationships because you're realizing that they don't work. But I do want you to start thinking about what you want and what you're looking for. And then if you realize that I'm in a relationship that's not in line with what I'm looking for, well, then you have come across a realization and then you have a decision to make. You understand what I'm saying? Because I know for a lot of you, you haven't been thinking about your relationships from the standpoint of what you want. Okay, right? Someone says, how much time should it take for a guy to ask you out on a date? This is the thing. I don't want any of you sitting around waiting for a guy to come to the realization that he wants to be with you. Because the thing about it is, when you're thinking about how long should it take for him to realize that, then as time goes on, you become increasingly more anxious. And your anxiety grows day by day when you're feeling like, oh, this is getting closer to when he should have realized that or not. So I don't like giving you guys dates or timelines of like, hey, he should know he wants to go out on a date with you by the third day or by the third week that he meets you. Because then as soon as the third week starts creeping up, you become super, super anxious. And then you start thinking, oh, well, in order to stimulate him wanting to go out on a date with me, let me do this or let me do that or let me call him or let me text him. And that's exactly what I don't want any of you doing. I don't want any of you putting yourself in a position where you're trying to stimulate a guy realizing that he wants to be with you. Do not do that, because then very quickly you'll start chasing after him, you're thinking that you're doing this for the sake of helping him realize that he should pursue you. But in reality, you just end up chasing after him and he never actually ends up pursuing you. Okay. Do nothing. Tracy just said it in the YouTube chat. Do nothing. Right? Jazz says my man was a frog and turned into a princess later, while I was a princess in the beginning and turned into his prince. It's crazy. It's crazy how that happens. Sometimes the dynamic can get flipped on you before you even realize it, and you gotta to rewind things and set them back. You know what I mean? Don't let the guys become lazy and complacent, and then you start doing all of his job for him. Okay. Right. Caitlin said, in other words, we don't need a man for nothing. Okay, I won't go that far and say that, right? I'm not gonna be that much of a hater. But I do want you guys to acknowledge that you're the most desirable, not when you're seeking out and desperate for a man. You're the most desirable when you're investing in yourself and about yourself, and have confidence and self-esteem in yourself that no guy can come along in your life and take that away from you simply by taking away his validation of you. Because you have to understand those are the strings that people can play you with. If you're so desperate for their validation that if they give that to you or take that away from you, it can control you or make you act differently. Well, then you've lost. Okay, right? Deb said, get a toy and attract a real man. Yeah, maybe one day we'll have a toy breakdown. I always tell you guys, best toy you can get that will change your life is the Tracy's dog sucking vibe. Okay, type that in on Google or wherever you need to type it in. You go on there, buy the 2 version, because the OG version doesn't come with the remote. Buy the 2 version because it comes with the remote, and I promise you it'll change your life. Don't ask me how I know. I just know. Okay, I know a lot about a lot. Anyways, with that being said, it's time. And for those of you who are new here, you have no idea what time it is. But it is indeed time. It's that time. The best time of the night. Please, my beautiful Players Club members, please tell everyone in the chat what time it is. You better spam it. I better see you spamming it. Everyone should know what time it is. And if you're new here, you're confused. You're very confused. Let's go. Okay. It's Discord time. So for those of you who don't know what Discord time is, if you're new here, oh my goodness. If you're new here and you don't know what Discord, why'd that pull up like that? Let me pull this up over here. Okay. Discord time is essentially where all the beautiful Players Club members get to hop into the Discord and ask me relationship advice questions, and I answer them live on the show. And of course, the beautiful live chat also gives their 2 cents as well. Okay, so I'm going to be answering these questions in order of first come, first serve. So basically in the order that they were sent. Okay, so obviously I have to scroll down. All these highlighted ones are the ones that we haven't read yet, and I answer them in order of first asked or last, the longest since it's been answered. Oh, I opened the wrong one first. This one was deleted anyways. So first here we have to answer is Jade. Jade says, don't answer yet. I currently am I think you changed it, right? So this is the updated one. I'm assuming this is the updated one because I don't see, if I go here, I don't see any other one from you. Yeah, I think you updated it because this is a while ago. So you should have updated it by now. Jade says, what is the best way to handle dismissing a long-term on and off pen pal to make him feel like a coward, loser, lame he is? Okay. We live in the same city and he love bombed me over text like crazy, tried to tell me he loves me before we had even properly hung out in person, and hyped up all the cute, fun things he wanted to do together and texting me nonstop. Right? That's exactly what they do. All the things he's about to do, how he's about to drill you, how he's about to put your legs behind your back and fold you up like a lawn chair, and how he's about to penetrate you, rearrange your gut, put it in your stomach, all that BS. They never do it. This was before I had learned from Tomisin about this phenomena and idealized me/our connection. When we finally met up for a walk in the park, it was a little awkward, obviously, because of the intensity of our pen pal convos. Always is. But there was definitely still chemistry and attraction between us. By the way, thank you so much for Anitra, who just gifted a member. Thank you so much for the gifted. I appreciate you so much, Anitra. Okay. But I could feel he was carrying a lot of unspoken fear/anxiety in him, which was off-putting. Well, I mean, when you talk a huge game like that about everything you're about to do, that's why also you put a lot of, both you and him, when you have a pen pal situation going on for so long, you put a lot of unnecessary pressure on the relationship before it can even blossom into anything. Because both of you have these crazy expectations of what it should be, and it doesn't necessarily end up that way. Then he revealed to me that he is in a long-distance poly relationship. This is how we starting off today, chat. This is how we starting off today. What do you? At least this was the first date that you learned it on. At least this was the first date. Let's see where it goes from here. My response was to tell him I am not down with that personally. Honestly, you should have just closed the book and exited the date then. There's just nothing else to do there. But I still liked him as a person. Why, Jade? Guys, and we could be friends. Guys, I always tell you, okay, this is one of the main points I want you to always remember about the Players Club. You need to always think about, what do you want out of a relationship? And the guys that you're dating, the only time you entertain a guy in a relationship or in a talking stage is if he is in line with what you're looking for. Stop wasting your life force away by having this unnecessary, silly conversation or these unnecessary, silly friendships with guys just because you don't think that they're what you want, but you don't want to just cut them off. Start getting comfortable cutting people off if they don't fit the criteria of what you're looking for. It is a waste of your time. So even in like Jade's case, what is the point of having a friend that you tried to see if you could date, but he's in a poly relationship and now you're just casually, what is the point? Have girlfriends. Go out with your girlfriends if you want the companionship, and build relationships with the people you're actually trying to build relationships with. Why are you, anyways, let's go on. But then he proceeded to continue the love bomb pen pal ship, of course, and started begging me to be okay with dating while he figures out his other situation. What other situation? He's poly. What is the other situation? He's in a long distance poly relationship. Full stop. Like, he has told you what you're looking for. He is not that. End of story. So until this is the same thing to when you guys are dealing with married men, because a lot of you are dealing with married men. It's the same thing I tell you. If he's going to tell you about how he's just about to get a divorce, then leave him alone until he gets his divorce. Guys will love to tell you about how literally tomorrow, literally next week, literally in a couple weeks, he's literally about to sign the paper. Oh my God, they're writing up the first draft. Oh my God, he's talking to the lawyer. Oh my God, the ink, he just got to get a new pen because his old pen is washed out. And once he gets a new pen, he'll sign the paper and then he'll be officially divorced. They love to tell you like it's just about to happen, and it never does. It's just a strategy to continue stringing you along. So it's the same thing here. He's talking about him figuring out his other situation. You should have said, cool, when you figure out the other situation and it's over, then you can come back and talk to me. Until then, we ain't friends, we ain't acquaintances, we ain't nothing. I'm not proud of that. I'm not proud that I had a moment of weakness and he manipulated me into a late night. Oh my God. He manipulated me into a late night hookup 2 separate times. Jade, Jade, the man told you that he's in a poly. He told you, first of all, that he's in a relationship. Then he told you that he's in a poly relationship. He told you what's going on. You acknowledge that this is not what you wanted. Oh, my brain hurts. My brain hurts. He acknowledged that this is not what you wanted. And you said that, and he said that. And then somehow, I don't want to be mean, but I'm trying to put myself in your shoes and understand how you could possibly stoop to this level of stupidity. I hate to sound mean and rude, but I just have to be so real with you. Like, this is like insane levels of stupidity. You have just acknowledged how he is not what you're looking for. You then proceeded to say we could just be friends since you're not what I'm looking for. And just from him saying a couple of things, because love bombing is not doing anything, it's just saying words. Just from him saying words, he manipulated you into a late, oh my God. It's not even like he said, okay, you be my second girlfriend since I'm poly, and then we hooked up. At least some sort of like commitment to you. This is a late night hookup. I'm in pain. 2 separate times. So the first time wasn't enough for you to realize it was a mistake. After texting me all the things he knew I wanted to hear, how old are you? You didn't say. Chat, how old do you think she is? This is tragic. I would regret it afterwards when I realized he was full of BS. That's when you came to that realization, not when he told you he had a long distance poly relationship. And just wanted to use me and probably gets off tricking a lover girls out of some weird inferiority complex, redemptive, selfish motives. Okay. I don't like when people do this, and I don't like when you guys do this when you send in your questions, okay? I can understand that you feel played, and I'm acknowledging that he did play you, okay? But I need there to be some responsibility taken here. He did not put a pistol to your head and force you to go over to his house late night and hook up with him, okay? On 2 separate occasions, you found yourself in a situation where you were actively getting up out of your bed, your chair, your room, you got dressed, you called yourself an Uber, or you drove yourself there willingly to see him. And then you hooked up. Even if, at least if we said once, we could say that was a mistake that you never made again. And once you realized that he wasn't there for you for real, you never made the mistake again. But you did it a second time. So this is why I say, I don't know if it's stupidity or you just don't care about yourself or have respect for yourself. And you can't say that he's manipulating you when he did it the first time and then he did it again the second time, the exact same way. This is where I need, not to be mean, but I need you guys to at least Jade in this specific situation, I need you to take responsibility for your own actions. I get that he played you and I get that you feel duped and manipulated, but this was also your own doing, of your own volition, of your own intention. So there's a lot of ways you need to smarten up as well. He's a nerd who recently became physically attractive and also has a small D. Oh, perfect. So all of this, and you're not even getting D down. Perfect. Just that's like the cherry on top. All of this rubbish you're going through, and you're not even getting D. You can't even say, I got my guts rearranged and I'm getting stuffed and penetrated so deeply, my eyes roll back in my head. At least if you could walk away with that, you could say you at least got the smallest sliver of something in return. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Maybe this is a troll story. I can't believe it. I can't believe you would stoop so low and get so little in return for everything you gave up. It's hard and difficult to fathom. I can at least follow the logic train when you guys come to me and you say, I got D down, Thompson. It was amazing. The way he was just taking me, and I can't believe it. That man got something on him that I've never seen before. I can at least understand that. I can understand how you become mesmerized by that, and you lose your train of thought. We can be on the same page there. I get it. Okay? But for you to say all of that and then to say, yeah, he ain't even doing nothing to me in the bed anyways. Boy. Wow. But damn, does he have a way with words? That's what you're in love with? The words? So what, you're getting jackrabbited by his pencil and he's saying, oh my God, you're the prettiest girl ever? That's what's taking you over the moon? That's what's taking you over the moon? He's talking about how pretty you are. He would love to marry you while he's jackrabbiting you with his pencil. You can barely even feel it. You're counting ceiling tiles just listening to his voice. Just have him read you out an audiobook. It'll be the same experience. I don't get it. You just like his words, the way he talks. The hookups weren't even worth it because he only lasted 5 minutes. Like I just said, he's jackrabbiting you for a couple of minutes. You staring up at the ceiling. Just tell him to send you an audiobook instead, or to do the same thing. You're not getting any sort of physical pleasure. What's the point? Okay. Each time, how you gonna be Pauly and not know how to deliver in the pleasure department? It's true. It's true. It makes no sense. You're getting nothing for this. I stopped contacting him after the last hookup disappointment, and his texts were going cold. It's crazy because if he were to D you down, you would still be in this situation. It's only because by the time he did use you, his D game was so horrible, so horrific, so tragic that you couldn't even be mesmerized by anything anymore. It probably made things actually worse. Okay. Anyways, let's go on. I had an entire other relationship, not pen pal, that started and ended in the 3 months between then and now. Okay. And ironically, the pen pal boy has reappeared with literal days after my breakup, almost like within literal days of my breakup, almost like he could feel energetically I was sad, lonely, and vulnerable again. Yeah, it always happens like that. That's how they do when you're in a breakup or when you finally heal from it. Okay. I entertained this convo for a little bit because he came in saying he hasn't been able to forget about me. Even saw me at our events and how hot I looked, but was too scared to approach me. Is that supposed to that gets you? Like that did it for you? Him telling you that you looked hot at an event and he was scared to approach you? Does that make you feel powerful, Jade? That gets you stimulated when he tells you that? Interesting. Sounds like that's your version of dirty talk. And I talked to his therapist. What? You talked to his therapist about his feelings and about me and he asked if we could get together for. What do you mean you talked to his therapist? That's illegal. What? I'm confused. That's a violation of patient confidentiality. Is that not, or am I confused? I don't think that's legal for you to talk to his therapist about the things that he discussed with his therapist. Anyways, let's go on. Someone says he talked to. Oh, sorry. And he approached me and talked to his therapist about, so he talked to his therapist. I was like, what? I thought she meant she talked to his therapist, right? And he asked if we could get together for a coffee so he could tell me about where he's at now, blah, blah, blah. Sorry, I misread that wrong. Okay, thank you guys for that. I almost believed him when he said, I almost believed him and was good about not giving into flirtatious messages he would bait, but yet again, he got to me with the excessive praise and worshiping. Oh, so that's your KINKS. You have a praise, KINK. I see now. That's your thing. That's what he's triggering inside you. I get it now. So as soon as he starts doing that again, your Squirtle starts firing up and on all cylinders and getting lubricated. I see it now. and saying how he wants to spoil me with princess streaming. This is actually dirty talk for you. I'm realizing that you're saying this, but this is actually dirty talk for you when he's talking to you like this. And all the things he knows I want in a romantic courtship. I made sure to tell him none of this would happen until we met in person and had an honest convo about his intentions and expectations. He eagerly agreed to this, but sure enough, the next couple of days, his text became spread out and had that same anxious, nervous energy behind them that I remembered feeling from him before. So just a repeat of the past. Okay. Now I'm like, I can't believe I almost let him play me again. Yeah, because he's triggering. So this is actually should be a real Jade for you. This should be a realization that one of your triggers is like you have like a praise thing. So when a guy praise you, like quite literally and like in a actual way and in a non-actual way, that is actually turning you on. And so you find it difficult to control yourself and your thoughts when you're being praised like that. It's like it's actually like a turn on for you. So that's why I say it's like dirty talk for you. And you start to not be able to control yourself when you're in that state. So this is one of the things you need to realize about yourself so you can realize how to like fight and against that. Okay. Trying not to beat myself up about sending him spicy pics. You see, guys, I'm not an idiot. I haven't read this beforehand. You see how I told you guys, this is like dirty talk for her. So it literally turns her on. Not that you're a bad person, Jade, but it literally turns you on when he starts talking to you like that, even though it's not meant to be dirty. And so you respond with the way it makes you feel with some spicy pics and messages of your own. Everyone's different, but I can see it now. You understand what I'm saying? And I hope you're seeing it now. But I want to make him feel dumb, so I've gone silent on him instead of popping off like I would do before. Okay? Is saying nothing the best thing to do to put him in his place? I keep second guessing, but I can't give him any more access to my energy. Yes, Jade. 100% the best thing for you to do in this situation is to do nothing, say nothing to him. But I also don't think that even if he were to beg for you back, I don't think that this is something that you should entertain anyways, because I don't think that in any way, shape or form, him being, whether this long distance poly relationship is working out or not, I don't think that he shares the same values or morals that you want in a long-term partner. So if that's the case, why are you continuing to entertain someone that you don't share the same viewpoints on in terms of relationships? It's just not gonna, there's not gonna be any end goal there if you're not growing together in the same direction. So for you, Jade, I think whether or not he responds to you, I think you should remove your access to him and never respond to him again. And you should, instead of worrying about him giving you attention or validation, just worry about living your own life, investing into yourself. And then when you meet someone, deciding to yourself, is this the person that I actually want to be with? Like, do you represent the type of person with the type of mindset of someone that I would actually want to be in a relationship with? Does that make sense? Because from what it stands here, that guy is not it. And the only reason you're entertaining him, one, because you're lonely, and two, because he's triggering that KINK that you have of being praised. And I literally mean it's a KINK because it turns you on. It's not just like I just like hearing him say that. It actually genuinely turns you on, which is why you're sending him spicy pics. Okay. There's nothing wrong with that, but I'm just helping you identify that this is one of your things. So help yourself understand that so that people can't just come across you and trigger that. And then you lose your mind and start acting a fool. Okay. Because that's exactly what just happened to you in this situation. It's very good for you and everyone else to know what your own triggers are and specifically what your own KINKSs are. Because if a guy comes along and starts doing that, you're going to find it very easy to fall prey to temptation when you're in a state and you're that weak. Okay. Does that make sense? Right. Someone says, how do we conquer the KINK? There's no way to conquer it. That's specific to you and that you can't undo that. But you can work with that, identify that that's your thing so that you can know I'm very likely to fall victim to that thing. Okay. And knowing that and being self-aware of that in itself makes it easier to control it because you know when you're being triggered. Okay. It's hardest to control when you don't realize that it's one of your triggers. Okay. But you're never going to say, oh, I'm not going to be triggered by this thing. If it turns you on, then it turns you on. But this is why I say, get yourself a toy so you can know I'm being triggered right now. Let me rub one out. Let me suck one out if I got the Tracy's dog. and I'll feel at least a little bit more at ease where I won't start acting crazy and talking crazy. Okay. I know it sounds silly and it sounds trivial, but I'm actually so serious. You'll make a lot of mistakes when you're in that state. I'm just being so for real with you. Okay. Let's go on to the next one. Let's see here. So we got Miranda. Okay. So Miranda actually sent 3, and I'm going to do the most recent one because it seems like you've revised it multiple times to say the right thing. So let's assume you said what you wanted to say here. Okay, so he left me for another woman after I moved cities for him. How do I escape this nightmare? Oh my God, chat. Please buckle up. This is going to be a doozy. Wow. Oh, wait, it's not even that long. What? Okay. How can I cut off my ex again? I managed to avoid contact for an entire year, but after my mother passed, I was vulnerable and we reconnected. Okay. He convinced me that we both had grown and that he genuinely wanted a relationship. I moved cities to be with him, leaving behind pretty much everything. One day he tells me he loves me, and the next we run into the girl he's involved with. What do you mean? What? And takes off with her right in front of me. What? No, chat, this got to be a troll, right? What? What do you mean he takes off with her right in front of you? What do you mean? No. No. This can't be possible. This can't be possible. You're trying to tell me that you moved cities for a guy. That's already horrible. Sorry, not for a guy, for your ex, you moved cities when he just says some words to you. So you move cities. Then when you move, what? Then when you move cities, while you guys are like out one day, he sees the girl that he's involved with or whatever you want to call it. And he literally lets go of like your hand that he's holding. He goes and grabs her hand and just walks away with her. I'm glitching because I don't know. I don't think I've even seen that in a movie. Because if I saw that in a movie, I'd say that this is very unrealistic. I don't even know what to say. I really don't. Honestly, I don't know what to say. Now I'm stuck in a toxic on and off again cycle. What is on and what is off? He took off with her right in front of you. How would there be an on after that? How little respect do you have for yourself that you would even allow him to even send you a message after that? It's stressful, unhealthy, and not serving me. But I feel obsessed and I don't know how to break free. What should I do? Wow, Miranda. Okay. Wow, you need such a dose of reality here. I'm gonna try and be nice, but like I just feel like there comes a point where I can't pull you out of this. The situation that you're in right now, you have to be the only one that puts your foot down and makes the decision that I need to pull myself out of this. Truthfully and honestly, there's no words I can give you that's going to supplement you actually just taking action and pulling yourself out of this. You've just mentioned multiple, I wouldn't even want to call them red flags. I don't know what you could call over a red flag that is even worse than a red flag. You've just mentioned to me multiple things that not only should be deal breakers, but should be reasons why you never, ever speak to the person ever again. And for some reason, you're still entertaining, not even entertaining, you're actually continuing to go on in an on and off again relationship. What this actually means is that you're not even the side chick. You're like the chick that he approaches when he has literally no other options. That's what the on and off again actually means in your situation. Because on again implies as if at one point you would actually be his main girlfriend. I can assure you, if he took off with another girl right in front of you, you were never the main girlfriend. I can 100% guarantee you of that. So even when you're thinking you're on, you're not actually on. He just is utilizing you because he has no other possible options. It's going to be real. Um, so honestly, Miranda, as much as I would want to give you advice, there's no advice I could give you because you've already identified for yourself and for the rest of the chat all the reasons why this is not a situation that serves you anymore and why you shouldn't be in this anymore. I would advise you, though, to go watch my show on how to detach from a man, because it will give you an actual strategy on the things that you can do to make it easier for yourself to detach from him and not feel as obsessed. But I want to warn you, if you're not prepared to actually detach yourself from him, don't even bother watching that. Like, you have to make the decision that I'm prepared to actually detach myself from this situation. Because some people will say that and then they don't actually want to be detached from the situation. Do you understand what I'm saying? But in that show, I give you step-by-step strategies. I would advise you to go find that show of mine. All you have to do is type in my name and then type in that title, How to Detach from Men. Find that live show of mine, and you should go to sleep watching that every single day. Every single day. I'm not even joking. Every single night, you go to sleep with that on and you wake up and you play that for your morning, until you get the courage to actually do the things and implement the strategies that I talk about in that show. I'm so serious, because that's the only way you'll muster up the courage to actually do the thing necessary to detach yourself from him and this that crazy I don't even want to call it a relationship, because I'm sure he doesn't consider it a relationship if he's treating you like that. Let me just make sure that you didn't add anything in these other ones. Okay, yeah, you didn't add anything here. Okay, so let's go on to Holly. Holly says zombies, okay? Holly says, hi, Tomisin. I love your advice on guys that reach out after 3 months, 6 months, or even longer. I know they are trying to let me cook, and it's not going to work. I'm not reaching out first. I can see their strategy. I know you can't give any specific advice because each situation is different, and this isn't about any specific person. I'm asking about when it happens with men that I have spent time with and have started building a connection with. They are just chasing or investing as much as they just aren't chasing or investing as much as they should. I'm not talking about casual hookups or people in the early talking stages. When I realize my needs aren't being met, I might explain once, but many times I just pull back. And in my experience, they always come back. Always. It's true, right? Because they realize that you're not going to do their job for them. So I'm interested in what messages or actions should I ignore, and which actual merit a response. Do I strictly ignore all texts or only answers the one that indicate action to fix it? See, you guys are so smart. A lot of times you guys answer your own questions. This is exactly how you would respond to this situation, right? You ignore texts that are talking about, I miss you, I want to spend time with you, it sucks that we don't talk anymore. Those texts they're not doing anything. But when they come to you saying, yo, I apologize for specifically what I did, and then they say, I want to do something to fix it, or I want to make some sort of adjustment so that this doesn't happen again, right? When they come to you with conflict resolution, that's when you respond, okay? Right? So you said it here. I get texts like, I miss you, useless. Don't respond to that. Pointless. No action there. Should I be very direct, like, I miss you too, but my stance remains unless XYZ? No. Do not repeat yourself. After you've already made it clear that you have a boundary, why it's a boundary, and you've made it clear how you'll respond if they cross that boundary, do not repeat yourself and start, this is what we just talked about. Don't start babying him, right? And thinking that, oh, if I repeat back again what I already told him my boundary was and tell him that he should do this in terms of trying to get a response from me and how he should go about it, stop doing that for him. He's not a child. He's not a child. And if he really wanted to be with you, he would use his critical thinking skills to figure out how to solve or approach the situation to resolve some sort of conflict, resolve this conflict. Okay. And if he can't do that, then you don't need to be worried about trying to build a relationship with a man who doesn't have the critical thinking skills to understand, I hurt and upset someone. Let me figure out how to resolve that conflict. It makes me very upset, because some of you are trying to get this out of a guy who doesn't have this. And I want you guys to realize, if he doesn't have this, you don't need to be worried about trying to be with him. It's very simple. Okay. So don't say any of this. You don't need to tell him again. You've already told him the first time. I need an effective response. I'm not the greatest in this area and get tripped up. I'd be thrilled to if you did a show on this topic. Thanks, Tomisin. Your advice is so appreciated. So I can do a whole show on this if you guys want more specifics. But from what you asked, honestly, you don't need to say anything. See, the most you should ever have to say, if this is being done right from his perspective, is okay. And you'll be saying okay to the fact that he'll be saying, I apologize for this, right? And I want to fix what I did wrong by taking this action towards conflict resolution. So all your response really has to be at that point is okay. And then he'll say, can I blah, blah, blah. Can I take you out? Can I show you this? Can I show you that I mean it? Can I show you that whatever it may be? All you have to say is okay. The moment you start thinking, should I respond by saying, yeah, I didn't like that you did this. Yeah, I wanted to do, yeah, I feel like you should apologize for what you did and how you did. No. You're babying him. Don't baby that grown man. If he wronged you and you've already made it clear that this is a boundary, he's not an idiot. He knows that he wronged you. Let him come to the realization that, yeah, he misses you so much that he wants to resolve the conflict. So it's immature of him to say, I miss you without having any sort of plan on how he's going to resolve the conflict. If he's just saying, I miss you, it's either because he's lazy or he doesn't have the critical thinking skills to understand that I miss you is not conflict resolution. And in either case, that man is not a man that you need to be worried about being in a relationship with. Because if his only response when he wrongs you is I miss you, and he actually thinks that's going to work to resolve the situation, then what are you going to do if you ever, God forbid, get in a relationship with that man and he does something really wrong? His apology is going to be, I miss you. You can't do nothing with that. Okay. Ivy in the YouTube chat donates $20. She says, thank you, Tomisin. Thank you so much, Ivy. And I appreciate all of you that donate in the YouTube chat because your donations mean so much and they help support the show. So I love you all so much that donate. Thank you so much. Okay. Next here we have, let's see. We have Rayla. Okay. Interesting name. I like that. Rayla. Treated as an option. Hey there, I'm 23. My mom recently passed away. Also, sorry to hear about that. The way she passed was a big shock to me. Okay. I have a friend whom I like since we met. Okay. He is 27, owns a business. Okay. Doing well for himself. We met at a public place. Coming back to the main story, I am so much in depression and anxiety that I am not even able to, I think you meant to say, see anyone. Okay, then that's good that you are aware of that, but then you should be honest with that up to him. When my mom passed, this friend of mine was so close to me, like he supported me. My family hated him when my mom passed away because the last time she was alive and rescued was by him. What? Why would your family hate him because of that though? My family hated him because the last time she was alive and rescued by him. Chat, can you guys explain to me? Maybe I'm missing something. Why would your family hate him because he rescued your mom? I'm a little bit confused. Okay, let's go on. She was not able to reach the hospital alive, so let's see here. She was not able to reach the hospital alive, so every day till now, I am broken and in shock. Coming back to the story of me and him. But if he rescued her, I'm a bit confused. Someone says, I think she was with him maybe the last time, but then why would the family hate him because of that? She said rescued. So he helped me a lot, not only the last time, but always. We used to meet and greet a lot. When my mom died, he cared for me a lot as my family was in a bizarre situation. Okay. Slowly we became more and more close and attached. As I said before, we used to meet a lot. He talked to me for hours every day whenever he gets time to. Before sleeping, we used to talk a lot too. I was also broken. He helped me get along. Suddenly, I started having to have more feelings for him. And then out of nowhere, one night he told me he had a crush. For seconds, I thought it was me, but unfortunately, it was someone else. Oh my goodness. Ah, that's painful. That's painful. I'll acknowledge. That's painful. It's not a crime what he did, but I can feel your pain and I can understand your pain. Okay. It was barely even a month after when my mom passed away that he told me this. In 1 year of friendship, he never told me about his love interest and threw hints towards me that he likes me somehow. I mean, okay, I understand that you were going through something and he helped you through the thing, and this is someone you've known for a long time, but he's not, you have to understand, he's not necessarily obligated to tell you about his love interest or that he likes a new girl. I get that you guys were building a really close relationship, and I get that this was a really tough time in your life, but I need you to understand that, like, just because you're having a tough time and he's helping you through that, like, his life doesn't stop. And it also is not you're not his girlfriend, so it's not a crime for him to be building relationships with other people while he's helping you in your situation. This is part of the reason why I always say friendships with the girls and the guys don't really exist. Not because I don't think girls and guys can be casual friends, but the thing about it is that the friendship that you have it doesn't necessarily mean that he's not allowed to explore other relationships. But if you have a problem with him exploring other relationships, then you're not really here for a friendship. I'm not trying to beat into you, Rayla, but like that's the honest truth, because he's of no obligation to tell you ahead of time who he's interested in or who he's building a relationship with. You get what I'm saying? You're his friend, not his girlfriend. You understand? Right? So when my mom passed, he made it clear that he cannot make me his girlfriend due to some reasons. I too agreed to the point, even I don't want a boyfriend in him. So then why are you upset? See, this is where you have to be honest with yourself. Because if you don't want a boyfriend in him, then why are you upset that he has someone else that he likes? Because if you truly only wanted to be his friend, this is why we all get friendship mixed up. If you truly only wanted to be his friend, Rayla, you wouldn't have an issue with him having feelings for someone else. That's just the honest truth. Okay. I'm not trying to be mean. But due to my situations, I fell for him. Well, okay. I need you to have some real clarity here, because why do you like this guy now? Do you like him because he was there for you, or do you like him for him? Because if you're saying that you didn't want a boyfriend in him, but you're saying because of your situation you fell for him, well, that's not you falling for him. That's just you appreciating and falling in love with the fact that he was there for you. So the fact that you guys went through this traumatic, they call it a trauma bond. The fact that it feels like you guys went through this traumatic situation together, you feel bonded towards him and closer towards him because of this, going through this situation together. But that has nothing to do with your actual feelings for him, the human being. That has to do with your feelings towards him in context of the situation that you went through with him. That's very different from liking the actual human being. Okay. He almost talked like my boyfriend. Gradually, things between us were heating up, like in terms of intimacy. Okay. We used to talk hot and spicy things, even though we knew the consequences. This is why I don't like it when you guys do the kind of we're kind of friends, kind of like each other type of thing, because everyone's confused. Why are you talking hot and spicy if this is about helping you through the situation? And why are you guys talking about we can't date and we can't be in a relationship when you guys are doing things that clearly aren't of just friendship? It's very confusing, and it only leads to more confusion. I'm not saying it was anyone's purpose or fault, but I just think there was a lot of unnecessary confusion here. And if you guys both wanted to do this, then you might as well have just been serious about it and explored an actual relationship. I wanted commitment. Well, see, this is part of the problem that you're having, Rayla. You just said I wanted commitment. But earlier you said, I don't want a boyfriend in him. Not saying this to attack you, but which one is it that you want? And see, part of the overall confusion is the confusion that you have within yourself of what it is you want out of this friendship or relationship. Because you're saying in one breath that you don't want a boyfriend out of this friendship or relationship. And then you're also saying, this is literally a couple sentences later, that you wanted commitment. How confusing is that? And how confusing will that be for your relationship when this internal confusion is going on within you? Just within you. I'm not saying that he's not also confused, but within you, there's also confusion, clearly. But I know he'll not somewhere. What does that mean? I think you might say somehow, right? You want a commitment, but you knew he wouldn't. Okay. We went like friends with benefits. I know it's wrong. It's against my, wait, what? Why, Rayla, why? You went through this situation with this guy, and I get that it was traumatic for you, but why would you feel that after acknowledging that he can't be a boyfriend for you and this isn't going to work out romantically, why would you feel like the next best option is to become friends with benefits? How would you, this is why when I try to help a lot of you, the first thing I try to like address is your own, like what you desire for yourself. Because I feel like that confusion within yourself is what leads to a lot of your own individual problems. And I think the same thing applies to you, Rayla, because how can you acknowledge that you don't want a boyfriend in him? Then you're saying that you want commitment from him, but you know you won't get it. And then you feel like the next best option is to become friends with benefits. You just went through a whole host of like confusion here only to make the worst possible decision because of the confusion. I know it's wrong and it's against my morals, but I was in a hope of love for him. One day we met and things got intense, although I never let him cross boundaries. It was always just kisses and cuddles. When all this happened for the first time, all the calls, texts, they were lessened, stating the reason that he got more busy than usual. I just I hate to see this happen to some of you. I'm honestly not joking. I honestly hate to see this happen to some of you, but I just think that, you know, when I try to tell you guys things and it sounds very painful and it sounds very horrible, and I tell you don't be sleeping with men, as soon as you, regardless of how he feels about you, as soon as you sleep with him, he's going to become complacent, things are going to change. You need to be clear on what the boundaries and expectations are, standards are. Even in a situation where he was helping you go through things, as soon as you guys started, you know, going past this friendship thing and becoming intimate, even though you didn't say you guys slept together, things started to change, right? You got to do the commitment and have an understanding of what the expectation is before you start doing all the other stuff. It's just the way it is. I waited every night that he would call, but let me tell you, it never happened in the past 6 months. So I'm not saying this because you're a bad person, but Rayla, the man was helping you through your mother passing for all this time. And then as soon as you started going into the talking hot and spicy, as soon as you started being friends with benefits, right? All of a sudden, he doesn't call you for 6 months. This is what I try to warn you guys of. And the dangers of just allowing guys to utilize you without any sort of structure or understanding of this is why you're here for real, for real. We did all this kissing stuff like 4 times in 6 months. Slowly, as I'm now recovering, and I know you didn't even sleep with him. That's the craziest part. It just changed the dynamic of your relationship. right? Slowly as I am now recovering from my mom's passing away, I am now realizing that the way he used to gaslight me, love bomb me, and the way he ghosted me. I mean, he also did tell you that he liked someone else, and it seemed like that triggered some anxiety in you, and then you started to pursue a little bit. I was so genuine till date, and I feel broken, alone. Even while writing this, all I had no one to tell this to. I had no one to tell this to anyone. I prayed to God to help me out, and I took 2 days back and found your channel, which helped me realize how used I was. I am since 3 months waiting and rehearsalizing. What? I think you meant say rehearsing. Sorry. That's how you spell rehearsing. Okay. Rehearsing the things I want to tell him to stop all this because I was so in love and he was not. I don't think that you should tell him anything. Okay. I don't think that you should tell him anything. I don't think you need to. He, according to my assumption, is now successful in making his crush his girlfriend. Okay, so he has a whole another relationship now. I think that this ship has sailed. Okay, Rayla, I think that this ship has sailed. He has a whole nother relationship now. I think that the course of your friendship, or whatever you want to call it, has run its course. And I don't think you getting your last word in is going to change anything. I'm not saying that because I want to make you feel bad, but I want your energy to be well spent in the place that will most benefit you. He has made his decision on who he wants to be with, and it's clearly not you. And I want you to just accept that and not feel like I want you to close that chapter for yourself. Because I feel like you're in a place where you're waiting for your moment to properly tell him off, or properly tell him how he treated you, or properly tell him all the things that you wanted to tell him. And because you're waiting for that moment, you're holding on to hope that you're going to speak to him again and see him again to be able to tell him all of these things. And that's keeping you attached to the situation and stopping you from being able to heal and move forward. And I'm here to tell you that honestly, that time might never come. And I don't want your energy and your focus to be on what you're going to say to him. Because if he has a girlfriend now, you might never get a chance to say anything ever to him again. It's just the honest truth. Okay. And I think this was the reason I maybe was ghosted. Possibly. Honestly, possibly. He still texts me sometimes, and a lot he wants to meet me. To be honest, even if he does that, pointless to you. Doesn't do anything for you. Please help me out. I can't block him due to the things that he did for me and my family, but I can't be intimate. But I can't be intimate with him. I think you meant to say, I am broken so much that I am not even able to sleep and stuff. I feel lonely. I want to handle the situation with cleverness, so one day he realizes how bad he made me feel, even after we're so good friends. Please help me out, sir. I want to make him realize how bad he did me. And maybe when I'll say him no for things, he may love bomb me again for the favors he did for me in the past. Okay, Rayla, I need you to understand that the only way, if you actually truly want him to regret you and feel bad about the way he treated you, or anything like that, the only way for him to do that is for you to take a complete step back and never give him access to you again. Because you're hoping that he regrets treating you the way he treated you, when he still has access to you the same way he's been having access to you. How is he supposed to regret anything? And the best way for you to show him that he made you feel horribly and you don't want anything to do with him is to show him that you're no longer interested in him whatsoever. I know that's very painful for you, and I don't know if you'll actually do that. But honestly, in order to get what you want, what you're asking me for, that's how you do that. That's the only way you do that. No long text, no long voice note, no long anything where you tell him off is going to help him come to that realization better than you withdrawing from him completely will. And regardless of what he did for you in your situation, at the end of the day, you need to do what is best for yourself. It's great that he helped you through this traumatic situation, but you can't hold on to that forever and continue putting yourself in pain, saying that I'm going to continue entertaining and talking to this guy who is in a whole nother relationship, and putting myself in pain, wishing that was me with him. because of what he did for me at that point in my life. If you do that, you will constantly be in a situation where you're always, always, always in pain and never able to build new relationships with other guys who might come across and actually want to be with you and actually want to make you their girlfriend, because you're still attached to this situation ongoing while he's in a whole nother relationship with someone else. So you can't let the fact that he did something for you from his own volition and his own intention, right? That was his choice. He's a grown man. You can't let the fact that he did something for you hold you hostage, that you don't allow yourself to move forward, because that's what you're doing. You're using this situation that he helped you through to hold you hostage, that you feel like you consistently owe him something, and to speak to him and to talk to him and to see him, to whatever with him, when you don't. And he's shown you that he don't owe you anything, because when he felt it was inconvenient to continue talking to you, he didn't talk to you for 6 months. Okay. Sometimes you have to be a little bit selfish in order to get what you want. Okay, Rayla? I hope that helps you. All right, guys, that's the show for today. If you have any questions, if I didn't get a chance to answer your question, don't fret. I will answer your question in a future show. We do this every single weekday. I'm here Monday to Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern time. So I'll definitely be answering your question in future shows if I didn't get a chance to answer it on this show. If you love me so much and you want to follow me on Instagram because you want to see everything I'm doing all day, every day, and how I came here in front of you, and you want to see my life, you can go on my Instagram. It's right above my head on the left side of your screen, and you can follow me on Instagram there. And if you are on YouTube, you can follow me on Instagram. It's at the bottom right of the screen there, and you can have access to my Instagram, okay? And for those of you who are on TikTok and you want to rewatch the show because you're like, this show is awesome, I want to see more of this, just go right over to my YouTube page, which is right above my head on the right side of the screen, and you can rewatch this entire live show with the YouTube and TikTok chat embedded in the live show, so you'll be able to get all the context of the show. So all you have to do is type in my name on YouTube, or copy and screenshot this and copy and paste my name into the search bar. Once you find my YouTube channel, just go over into the live section and you'll see this, literally the entire 2-hour live show in its entirety with both of the chats there. So you'll be able to follow along and watch all the other ones as well. Okay. So make sure you go on there if you want to access that. Like I said, I'm here every weekday, Monday to Friday. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you got to figure out what time that is in your time zone so that you can make sure to be here right on time for the show for the future. Okay. Other than that, thank you guys so much. I will be back tomorrow on Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to see you again, where we'll talk about love, life, and relationships. Until then, arrivederci, au revoir, hasta la vista. Goodbye for now, and I will see you tomorrow. I love you so much.